Union-backed protesters sounding off across the nation as Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders square off in Wisconsin over who can hike the minimum wage higher, which Charlie says will only make the job market weaker. Charlie, $15 minimum wage is already here. California is about to make it law, so is it just too late to stop it?
Well, who knows? I think it's not too late to have a debate about this, an economic debate. Listen, I want...
Who has the debate, by the way? Because we have protesters, and then you have politicians, and then it's law.
Here's what I would say, Charles. I want people to make $200 an hour minimum wage. I would like that. I would like the minimum wage to be $200 an hour. If that were the case, there would be no minimum wage jobs. And I think with the economics of this shows, when you raise the minimum wage to like around the levels they're at now, particularly in some of these states like California, where they need these types of jobs because they have an influx of immigrants coming in, you lose jobs. Corporations figure out how to automate and get by with less, and that's what they're doing. And this is just going to make a bad situation even worse.
Jerry?
Look, do you know how many people make minimum wage around the country? It's only like 3.9% of workers. It's nobody. If you care about how much money people make, don't worry about the minimum wage. Make the economy grow faster.
I agree with that too.
Right.
That's going to make it happen.
You know, Ben, that's a great point. And half of those 3% that Jerry's talking about are teenagers. Nevertheless, this is always a potent political issue, and the progressives push it hard.
Well, it's a potent political issue because the children of wealthy doctors, dentists, lawyers, and investment bankers make it into a potent issue on college campuses. They're not ever going to have to worry about the minimum wage. They get paid by their parents just for smoking pot and playing video games. And believe me, I know this from experience.
Oh.
And we know for sure it's an absolute certainty that raising the minimum wage causes unemployment.
Yeah.
That being said, it's fine with me if they want to raise the minimum wage. It's perfectly fine with me. I'm happy to pay $10 for a Big Mac. I'd be happy to pay $20 for a Big Mac.
You could afford it. Right?
I love Big Macs.
Yeah, I mean, here's the bottom line. In addition to the wisdom that Ben gave to rich parents, when you creep down to the basement, make noise so that your kids can put away the weed. They can play the video game, but make noise so they can put away the weed. But Adam, you know, we hear that this is a compassionate thing. Even though anyone who's studying any economics understands, ultimately this hurts the very people it's supposed to help.
Well, some of them, not all of them. I mean, I think Jerry's point was very interesting, that this is an issue that makes a lot of noise, but is only important at the margins in terms of the macro numbers. So will it hurt macro jobs? Yes. Will it help the people who get those $15 an hour jobs? Yes. And to Charlie's point,
will it lead to unemployment?
Businesses are doing all of the things that you say businesses are doing anyway, Charlie. They're going to continue to do that. They will automate if they can.
But you know why, Adam? They're doing it because their cost structures are going up. And one of the reasons why
they're doing it because it's the right thing to do for their business.
Any of them. Why is Amazon going out there and automating everything?
Minimum wage? It's
because
a training
cost
wage.
Structures going up and it's easy to cut.
Well, I mean, I think to your point, Charlie, it speeds up the process. It puts more pressure. They will evolve, and they will use artificial intelligence and robots. We know that, and this is why I think this whole thing is dumb, because we shouldn't be arguing in this country about minimum wage. It should be sort of what you were talking about, maximum wage. The next 100 years will be the knowledge century. While America's arguing about this, China is churning out engineers by the hundreds of thousands, and those are the great paying jobs.
And we need to do that. Look, it's not about how much you get paid in that first job. It's about where you're going from there and what you're going to be paid in your next job, right?
I will only make
education. It's all about education. Education is the answer. You cannot legislate prosperity for an individual. You've got to have that person get education and skills.
I agree with you. I agree with everybody here 100% for a change. We're all kumbaya here, but you know, one of the reasons why
even me,
even you,
put an asterisk around.
But one of the reasons why Donald Trump has been so popular, and I hate to bring Trump into every conversation, is because he's speaking to people that have fallen through the cracks now. And right now, minimum wage does matter to a certain amount of people.
I think that's
the problem is pointing out to them that your job prospects will be even less.
Adam, I think those are two different sets of people. Those people who have fallen through the cracks are like 50 years old, and you know, whether they can get up to speed to the new economy remains to be seen, but they have reasons to be upset. But back to the minimum wage part of this thing also, you know, it does affect outcomes of elections and things like that. And so that's the disingenuous part, because you got to believe that these progressive politicians know the real deal, that someone's crunched the numbers for them and said this is actually going to have more economic hardship than not, yet they promote it over and over again.
I'll tell you what, Charles, since we're all getting along so famously today, well, here's the bone that I will throw you. The unions, as we've discussed many times on this program, are not dead yet. They still want their political power. There is no doubt that this is an important issue for them, and to the extent that they can get Donald Trump's supporters, as Charlie identified them correctly, I think, to support them on this, that's an opportunity for the unions.
You know, but the only problem is the economics are horrible on this, Adam. The economics,
but whether or not
Ben's an economist, and let him speak to this. Ben, what are the economics? They're lousy.
The unions love a higher minimum wage because that means that their wage, which is even above that, but for skilled workers, seems more reasonable. They would like the minimum wage to be $20 an hour. That way, their wage can be $35 an hour. They love that.
There's always the nefarious undertones with those unions. All right, guys, let's leave it there. Hey.